Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting night of Psychic Sundays Live with your host, the Queen of Ooga Booga.
So I know that a lot of you are tuning in, ready to answer your questions, and I would love to answer your questions. But first, I want to kind of take a look at some current events. You know, the world's getting active. There's things happening other than Donald Trump, thank goodness. And now, last week we looked at immigration. This week, I want to start out. I got a request. And this is from the Georgia contingency, as they call themselves. And they're really worried about everything that's going on there with the Voting Rights Act. You know, the Republican Party in Georgia is just passing legislation left and right. I guess that now you can't give people water when they're standing in line and stuff like that. It's getting pretty ridiculous. But we're going to take a look-see and see what the cards tell us about this. So, voting rights legislation in Georgia. Let's look at voting in Georgia. Voting rights in Georgia. Okay, so. Well, your baseline is the Ten of Swords reversed. So this is just their knee-jerk reaction to losing so badly. And so they're kind of in a grief process, and they're just doing anything. You know, they're doing anything to placate their grief, to make them not worry about losing another election. Anything but to do their job right and to appeal to the people. Heaven forbid they do that. And again, covering it.
Unless that card's in front of your face, they're not going to see it.
Okay, covering it is the Eight of Coins reversed. And the Eight of Coins, you know, it's about doing your job well. It's about being productive. It's about doing things exceptionally. But when it's reversed, it's about doing exactly the opposite, which is exactly what they're doing. So it tells me that all this voting rights thing is just plain mean, just plain dumb, and just plain lazy. So we have, so on a conscious level, you've got the Nine of Wands reversed. And so the Nine of Wands, it's usually about obstacles. So when it's reversed, the obstacles are falling away. So they are trying to put obstacles in the way. But there are people behind them figuring out ways around those obstacles. So I don't think they're going to succeed no matter what they pass, even though it is what it is. And then subconscious thoughts, you know, what's going on behind their eyes. You have the Six of Swords reversed. And the Six of Swords reversed, it means just going through choppier waters, making sure that somebody's journey is more difficult. So as subtle as they are, we wouldn't have guessed that. And of course, I am being sarcastic. And while we're talking about what I'm being, I'm actually entertainment. This is for entertainment purposes only. And what I express here is how I interpret my tarot cards and what I feel in my heart. But it is for entertainment purposes only. So if we look at the near future, the near past, I mean, you've got the Four of Swords. And so the Four of Swords says that even though the Republican Party in Georgia isn't recovering, other parts of Georgia are. And I think that the word woke really fits the people in Georgia right now. They're starting to recover. They're starting to get their confidence back. So I think that the GOP can count on a bigger fight than they've ever had because the population is feeling pretty self-confident. And reverse, and here you have, you know, when we look at just what the next thing that happens is, you've got the Queen of Cups reversed. And this isn't going to be a quick process. You've got a woman politician coming in, and she feels real white right wing, like I can't remember the lady's name, but the crazy one down there, the blonde. Anyhow, I think that this is a very conservative woman who is appealing to basically the worst of the base. So you've got somebody out here putting out commercials, really stepping in front of the camera, and just giving a 2019 kind of message. So this is how the Republicans view themselves. So they see themselves as the chosen obstacle, and they see that as that is their strategy here is to block, 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 obstruct, obstruct, obstruct. And that's what they're doing with these voting rights laws, which I think that they will take hold, but only for the shortest period of time. I'm really hoping that the cards turn around here. Okay, so here, this is how the rest of the world views them. And it's a Seven of Wands reversed. And the Seven of Wands, it's about getting on top of a situation. It's about being victorious. And of course, it's reversed. So basically what it's saying is that the whole world sees them as being poor losers. I don't think they're doing themselves any favor in the long run. Let's see. Okay, so here you've got the King of Wands reversed. And this is about the hopes and fears. And it's all around one person. And this is a very powerful Republican, an outspoken man. And it looks like he is really going to have, I think, a backslide, a defeat. He's shows upside down. Basically, the King of Wands upside down. I feel like his fire is being extinguished. So I think that people are just getting tired of hearing the same old things. So final outcome. Oh, ha ha. Okay. So all these crappy cards, and yes, the Republicans are being really, really crappy, and they're pulling out their loudest, proudest, and craziest to campaign for this, and it is all about voter obstruction, and they're not even bothering being subtle about it. And they feel empowered. They feel like they can do anything, but the final outcome is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's a change of fortune basically. They're so used to things going their way and not having to explain themselves and being able to do whatever they want. And like I said, there's a kind of a wokeness with the people. This is going to turn around. This is by fall. You're going to find some people being kicked out of office. Actually, yeah, this is going to make the GOP lose power. Okay. Couldn't happen to a nicer party. Okay, so, and I just want to look at one more, well, maybe two more things. I have a list here. Now, I was going to look at Mitch McConnell, but I'm bored with him. His light is slowly fading, and once his wife gets in enough trouble, they'll both be gone anyway. So, would not worry about them. Again, for entertainment purposes only. What I really want to look at, what we all want to know about, is that stuck barge. All the world trade lined up behind this stuck barge in the Suez Canal. I guess tonight they're going to use the tide to try and lift the boat. Hopefully it works. But stuck boat, stuck boat, stuck boat, stuck boat. Okay, so you really got a problem there. And you know that thing is the size of a skyscraper. It's a quarter of a mile long. So For starters, you've got 6 of Wands. So that's sort of reversed. So it's kind of an anti-victory card. So apparently, this boat is putting a lot of people's fortunes on hold. The United States probably having a very, very, very bad time. So I have a feeling that the ship chose a really busy time for it to get stuck like that. And you've got, crossing it, you've got the Knight of Wands reversed. And that is, there's talking about the reason and so forth and so on. This tells me that it was just too big for I think they have 2 captains, but it was too big to be steered by human beings. It's just too big. They lost control over human error. And again, for entertainment purposes only, but that's what the card's telling me, that's human error. And we look at conscious thoughts here, and every situation, no matter how good or how bad, has winners and losers. You have a situation that's really bad for somebody else. That said same situation is going to be bringing something good to another person. And that's what I see here. You see, some people are crying and some people are celebrating. Some people are getting unexpected wealth at the expense of those whose merchandise is stuck at the Suez Canal. So there is a reminder that there are merchants who are going to benefit from this. And subconscious thoughts, basically what's under the surface here. And you've got the 2 of Swords. And my 2 of Swords is about truce and working together. And it looks like it's going to take a partnership of enemies or frenemies, if you will. But there's 2 parties that don't ordinarily work together that will have to work together in order to get this poor ship unstuck. Okay. Interesting. So this right here has already happened. You've got the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So you've got money being just pouring out of people's pockets, and an obstruction happening at a time when really there's some pretty important merchandise on that barge. So it talks about the obstacles, it talks about money being poured out, literally being poured out. But when I look at the near future, you've got the moon. And this, to me, reads spot on, because they're trying to use the tides, and the tides are dependent on the moon. And right now we have a full moon. And so they are going to look to the full moon. It says that the outcome is uncertain here. I think they're going to manage to change its direction a little bit, but they're not going to be able to get totally unstuck. It's just when I look at the lobster, it feels like the boat goes like this, where one part that was touching the side isn't going to be touching the side anymore. It's just a repositioning, but they're really not going to get it totally unstuck. They might get it moved forward a little bit, but it's better than what they had before. Okay. So here's how the owners of the barge view themselves. And it's the Nine of Cups reversed. And this is kind of like a wish being poured out. So this barge, this shipping vessel the size of a skyscraper, was actually the company's crown jewel. And something that was always supposed to be reliable and a moneymaker in that. And so they put a lot of their ducks in this basket. So they're definitely hemorrhaging money. Okay, So, okay, so how the world sees this situation. And you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about governments, regulations, and so forth and so on. I think a lot of people don't understand the hows and the whys of any of this. Let me see what the other couple of cards say, because just I get a funny feeling about that. So I know we do need more than one country, and we need countries that don't ordinarily work together to be there. Oh, okay, that makes sense, because you have two pillars here. This whole thing is going to be a blessing in disguise. This whole thing is going to result in a good truce between two countries that wouldn't ordinarily have had a truce. So this is basically what's going to happen next. And you've got the Queen of Swords reversed. And in that, I actually see that as being the actual vessel. I think they are going to, even if they don't take it apart there, it is going to end up being taken apart. It's not going to be sailed again. And then the final outcome. Okay, it's not giving me time really, but it is going to get unstuck. You've got the Ten of Swords reversed, which talks about the obstacles coming down. I would give you another 10. Okay, so I just got 2 more 10s. So I would give it either 10 days or 10 weeks. And I really think we might be looking at 10 weeks. Simply because the concept of piracy becomes a real big issue. And that's one of the problems they have, like the waters around Africa. I'm not sure that they're... I know that they have problems with piracy off of the east coast of Africa. I'm not sure about the west coast of Africa, but I know it's a dangerous journey, and it's going to be an expensive one. But the ships that have the money and the resources to make that journey over the next 10 weeks are going to be the winners, the ones that don't get robbed. Okay, so that's what I see with the barge. And I think I've talked long enough about world events, because we have so many of our loyal viewers just waiting to ask questions. And I want to welcome everybody